Yeah, sure. Yeah, we can definitely do that. We'll do it at the tail end.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome.
Hi, Audrey.
Oh,
Hello, Denise.
okay. We have action right now happening in the crypto markets, and of course, we also have some action happening within the U.S. markets, Japanese markets, everything. This is a very interesting day. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, and maximize. Okie dokie. Starting off with, you know what? Let's start off with silver and gold. Silver still maintaining its price range that we've been seeing fluctuate since, oh, what is this? October. Just been ranging between these two price points here. We've got, yeah, very, 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 very much a consolidation. So consolidation simply means the highs are not getting higher and the lows are not really getting lower. And it just ranges back and forth, bouncing between pivot points. And right now we're about 3/4 of the way up this particular range. We seem to be maintaining support along this long-term trend line. Now with gold, however, it had another big jump over the last couple of days, a little bit of a retracement yesterday and today, tempting to hit up that all-time high that we formed last, what was that? Yeah, April 22nd. But as you can see, everything is still very green in this, in the price. A little bit of green. Oh, it's interesting that the color on my monitor and the color on this live stream shows a little bit different. It shows more green on mine. Oh, that's probably because of the green screen filter that's on there. So gold right now still very much in a bull run. We've simply been seeing consolidation since April 22nd. But this big movement here over the last couple of days shows us that the bulls are ready to take this on. Just how volatile those bullish candles are versus how volatile the bearish candles were. This is a good sign. So if you've been looking for some gold right now, it's actually dipped down yesterday and today. It's dipped down back around the $3,300 level. Still, of course, silver less than 1% valuation. For those that want to have that longevity and have larger amounts, gold is going to hedge your wealth against inflation. But for those that want to get a quick buck, I think silver is, I've been saying this for years, silver is supposed to be about 10% the price of gold. So with only a $32 ounce of silver, a $300 ounce of silver is an investment. So right now, gold and silver showing great promise, especially with the bullish movements that we saw yesterday or this week so far on gold. Moving on to the world markets, we've got Japan now with a little surge. We were showing some resistance here at this $37,000 level, but today already, very, very short order, we saw green all over the board. Even the top 7 companies in the world are showing profits today. And so that is exciting for the markets, where you can see the order that even first thing in the morning, the orders were coming in hot and heavy. I've got this now on the 15-minute chart, and you can see that leading up to the market open, there was some volatility. And then as soon as those orders got put through 9 a.m., it just took off. And so now, this resistance line that I drew the other day is where we're at the moment. So we'll see where it closes today. If we can close above that line, then we've got probably some more momentum going towards the all-time high. Next resistance, actually the next resistance line is here at 42.9. So might see some resistance there. But yeah, lots of orders coming in right now. And that is indicative of, just how desperate these companies are to make it look like they're profitable. NVIDIA has been experiencing losses of orders. NVIDIA being primary processor manufacturer for AI chips. They were expected to do very, very well. And they still are, in my mind, they still are expected to do well. However, they are experiencing the law of diminishing returns. For every dollar they are investing to make AI better, they're getting less return. And so as a result, their books are starting to look less attractive because it's taking more money to get the results that they were having with the first hundreds of billions that were invested. So with that in mind, smart money may be leaving the stock market. And I believe what that will incur is another drop in price. Whether we get up a little bit higher here or if we attempt that all-time high first, it remains to be seen. However, we do know that Operation Stargate, which is Trump and Elon's brainchild, that their plan is to use that to help the American economy. And so as a result, if there is a crash, the only way that I see them getting out of it is by following the same pattern that the US has followed for over 100 years, and that is to go to war. And I believe that that war will be cyber, that it will be something to do with using AI. Considering how well they are marketing Elon's AI in its ability to get us to Mars, I would imagine that they're going to be selling it as a war machine soon. Going into cryptos, let's go first with the total market cap of altcoins. So these are all of the coins minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is an index showing the market cap. So $845 billion are in the about 84% of the way to $1 trillion market cap in all coins excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. But we can see that we are at a major point of resistance right now. So we're at a crucial moment for cryptos. If we're able to get above this, I would expect continued movement towards this long-term trend line from, that's a long time ago. Let's just adjust that so that it's a little bit more accurate. There we go. So we've got this long-term trend line right now that we would need to, that I would look for, where I would look for resistance. We may also see some resistance at this 930, that level there, that 930. See if I can do this. Yeah, around this level here, 940 billion or so. That resistance point would be probably, that would be fairly major. And we can also see that coincides with the algorithm that is painting this gold cloud here. That top of the cloud is actually at that point right now. So the resistance, once we get above that, if we close above the top of this cloud, then it will flip to a green cloud and will officially be in a bull market. For the time being, though, individually, we're seeing movement in Bitcoin. Right now, the most promise is being shown in Bitcoin with crossing the $100,000 mark here earlier this morning. Let's go see. Yeah, that was actually at 9:15. We crossed that $100,000 mark. And so now hanging out above that, I do not expect us to dip below. If we do, it will be simply to retest that psychological level of 100,000, and it will, this is a milestone technically. So it's a milestone in the price of Bitcoin. The next resistance that we can expect will be around the $105,000 level, this area here, and then of course the challenge to the all-time high to beat that out. Analysts that I like to follow, including Crypto Bacon and oh my goodness, Castillo. These guys are saying that they expect that $150,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year, and that's a fairly conservative mark. That's our target. That's my target right there. I know that when Bitcoin reaches 150,000 US dollars, I will be beginning my exit strategy, where I will be beginning to sell off all of my crypto assets and exchanging them for real world assets. Whether those are digital real world assets or gold, silver, and land, it's yet to be decided what the ratios will be. But that's yeah, we are at a good spot right now. We can see that this retracement that we got from the push that we had in from the election, that retracement came back and found that support around that $73,000 level, and ever since then, higher highs. The algorithm is showing a nice green pattern here. A little bit of a dip. You can see some gray right there. That is that resisted. That's that test. The test of support. And the green coming back lets us know that, yep, in fact, we've tested that support and we're on our way up, creating some new highs. Ethereum, however, oh, look at that. I stand corrected. There it is. I haven't checked Ethereum yet today, and it is today. There we have it. Nice big movement in Ethereum today. Let's just reset the chart here so it's to scale. Look at that. Already today, Ethereum is up 12%. Very encouraging. However, we can see that this resistance, this is our most previous high right here from March 26th, March 27th. This high is what we need to sufficiently cross above and then retest for support. As you can see, we've got some resistance that will be showing up on this trend line as well. And so we can expect that. It'll bump up against that. It may switch the algorithm to from this gold cloud into a green cloud, signifying a bullish movement. But it's going to take I think it's going to take a lot of force for it to get above that. Now, if it happens quickly, then I'm going to say that we're here. We're at the point where we can safely say that we won't see these prices again. That's if it happens quickly. If it bounces up real quick and even maybe tests the top side of this trend line for support, very encouraging. It'd be very encouraging movement for all of our bags that have been waiting and drawn down all this time. XRP consolidating still, actually hasn't even started any of the bullish movements that we've seen in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And it's likely that the Bitcoin and Ethereum is simply leading the way in this run, where the other altcoins have yet to experience the same surge. Some of it gets distributed. Like, for instance, we are seeing in Doge today a great increase in the day. It's already up 10.6%. Injective also with a little bit of a surge today, up 12%. ADA, a little bit lagging. It hasn't created a new high. We're still looking at some resistance here right now at the 73-cent US mark. I've got positions coming down as far as the 52-cent line, but increasing those positions as it goes down to maximize the profits as it goes up. Right now, though, on the daily chart, the algorithm is still telling us that we've got a bearish trend. And the reason why is because although we are here at this resistance point here, there's another one just above it that actually holds more weight as far as volume, price, the volume. And this pivot point here has throughout history been a lot more significant. You can see even back in March of 2024 that it was showing some resistance. And so where we are right now is actually, if it gets above this point of resistance that we're at, still, that's not a confirmation of a bull run yet. I would want to see a good clean movement above this resistance at 77 cents, come back to find that support, test it sufficiently, and then start to move back up. That's when I will be switching all of my positions across all of my leverage trading. I'll be switching them to a long position. Right now, by volume, I'm still bearish. The reason why is because I believe that when there is a crisis, people will flock to cash out their cryptos, and that's going to create another dip. So I could be wrong. I've been wrong many times before, but this is from a technical perspective. 60% of the time, this formation, the way that this is right now, this low here has garnered this high, but this high did not beat out the previous high. And so we simply don't have the math to support a bull run yet. It might be here. This movement that we got today is very encouraging. I mean, Cardano up 8.84%. That is very encouraging. However, mathematically and statistically, we don't have the numbers in favor for me to switch my short position into a long position. Going up to Algorand, we'll do this fairly briefly. These ones here, I analyzed them on Monday as well. No, this was last week already. So we'll analyze this. Algorand, right now showing strength again, up 8.73% today. But of course, that previous high is what we need to see beat. The fact that this high is higher than the high that was formed on March 26th is encouraging, and that this low didn't dip down nearly as low as the last low is also another good indication of a of bullish price action. I would want to see that actually break out from this resistance here, simply because we've got a lot of volume that accumulated in this price range here. Because of how much volume is here, this would be like, I would want to see this price action actually go and test the top side of that. That's when I would know, okay, yeah, we've now got that switch. BitTensor showing strength. Again, it's been doing very well over the last little while. In fact, outperforming most other cryptos with 149% growth over the last 30 days. That's incredible. That is indicative of the infrastructure investments that are being made. Since BitTensor is providing computing power for a lot of centralized AIs, including Alphabet, Gemini, Google, Meta, Grok. All of these infrastructures are being handled by BitTensor. Mantra DAO, I'm going to go ahead and take this off of the watch list. It is up 4% today, but I mean, when you've only got a little bit of movement like that, shortly, we're only less than a month since it tanked by 93%. I'm going to take it off of the watch list. We may come back to this if this begins to show any promise. But as you can see, we are far from being able to from returning to the previous price action. Optimism. Look at that. I was talking about this long-term trend line here, how when we were coming up to this resistance, I said that it would be nice to see a retest of this line. And you can see that retest occurred over Tuesday and Wednesday. Today, up 11.3%. Bouncing off of that long-term downward trend line. This is encouraging. This low being higher than the previous low. Today's candle will tell a good story, but tomorrow's will give us the confirmation. If tomorrow the price can maintain its position above this low, we are likely going to re-challenge this high. Because of how close it was last time, we need to be mindful that there is a pretty good probability that we will go past this resistance without much resistance, simply because the bulls already tested it last week. That's almost 2 weeks ago now. What is that? 27th? Yeah. So 10 days ago. Fetch also with some great price action over the last little while, similar to the price action that we saw with BitTensor, creating some new highs and lows that are also getting higher. We are long term in a very this is what we call a channel So as you can see, I've got these trend lines formed. They are showing the scope and price action of this channel. With this dip that we went below, coming up, finding resistance on this long-term trend line is significant. Given the climate that we see right now, I would say that it is entirely possible that it is now forming that support from this old trend line. Now, to confirm, I would want to see the price action sufficiently close above 84 cents. So yet another, basically another 10 cents going up from where we are right now with a solid close. And then finding this long-term trend line again, I'd like to see the bounce off support so that we can make it the next movement upwards to this pivot line here at $1.40. Woo, up 10% today, but given the fact that the price is so low, that's not difficult to do. Lower market cap as well. Algorithm says that we're still in a bearish trend, and that's simply because this low here, this high rather, did not beat out the previous high, and this low being the lowest, this price action certainly doesn't indicate a bull trend yet. We would need to see this price actually close above this cloud here, and that would flip it back into a green trend. Right now, yeah, this would be a great buy at the moment, no question. It's the lowest it's ever been, 7.3 cents right now. Given the climate and the fact that we do have potential trend reversal in Ethereum, I would begin that's when I would start to go bullish on this asset. Kind of waiting for that Ethereum, since that's just because it's the layer one coin to Woo, and also to BitTensor and so on and so forth. So this is it's at a critical moment right now. We're going to see some price action really make some definitive moves. Polygon, gaming coin that I really like. This one here is showing some great sign today, up 15.81%. And this high that we saw on April 24th beat out the high that we had on 27th of March. And so indicative of a reversal. This long-term trend that we saw all the way from December has been discouraging for a lot of people. But with this here, it's a very encouraging movement. And I would say with this low, not even coming down as far as this support that we had here, that's encouraging. Today's price action, as long as we can keep this, as long as we can keep making some higher highs, I would say that in the middle of this channel, this upper line here and the lower line that signifies the channel, once we get up to halfway through this channel, that's when I would be switching my position from bearish to a bullish. Desync, still ranging in price back and forth. Today, though, up 20.54%. That's a big growth today, coming down from the very low at 10.6 cents, up 38% already. Doesn't take much. Doesn't take much when you're at these lower price points. But as again, Destra though is a layer 2 to Ethereum, so we are waiting for that confirmation from Ethereum. That's going to make a world of difference. Once we see Ethereum create some highs that are higher than the previous highs, we can then start to be a little bit more encouraged by the price action in DeSync. Same thing with 0 by 0, ranging basically since the 26th of March. We did create a new low on the 22nd of April. And right now we see that the volume is increasingly getting bearish right now. So this gold trend here that we see in the volume indicator is showing us that we've got that downward trend. Now the oscillator, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. The oscillator is this one here is measuring momentum. And that momentum has switched. We see that green dot that's there. That is indicative of a movement going up. Now, sometimes they're fake, but this being here is encouraging because although there is bearish volume here, that's that colored cloud, this horizontal line is the threshold. meaning that if the volume were to be butting up against this, it would create a greater effect on the price action. So as you can see, even though the volume has been bearish, the price action today going up 24% is showing us that that momentum is shifting because the volume isn't reaching the threshold. That indicates a reversal. So with the 0 by 0, I'll definitely be watching for well, first off, Ethereum. I've got to see the Ethereum do its thing before I get too encouraged. But with 0 by 0, once we see higher highs getting created, this one here is going to be, on the forefront of my radar. I think the 0 by 0 and desync are probably the two coins that are in the AI space that I'm most encouraged by. ARC. This one here is a gaming coin. It's basically dribbling like a basketball right now. Sideways market here for the last, it's like a month now, 38 days. PAL, this one here is still mostly ranging. However, we can see over the last little while from this low that was formed on March 13th, we have been getting increasingly, we have been seeing the highs getting higher. So with this mini trend, we simply need to, what we need here, we need to see a good solid close above that 17-cent mark before I can say, yes, we are now going into a bull run. Also, it would be helpful if the algorithm showed support for that as well by switching this gold cloud into a green cloud, signifying a bullish trend. But great spot to buy PAL right now. WorldCoin, so showing some promise here over the last week. That was on the daily chart. That's okay. So since the beginning of April, there's been a nice little rally. We saw a new high get formed. It beat out the previous high. But right now at this resistance, this is kind of that crucial point, similar to what we've seen with ADA, that this old pivot line, this is significant. It has provided a lot of support and resistance in the past. So there's a lot of volume in this price area, in this price range. What's going to happen? Well, we can see that cloud switched over. So this gold cloud turned into a green cloud in the last week, and having this low this low closing above this high is a significant turn of events. So with WorldCoin, we may see, even though it's a gaming coin, we may see this community continue to grow over the next little while. Neural AI. This one here is similar to Doge in that it has a bit to go above. It's up 24% today, which is a wonderful, wonderful price action to see. But again, Ethereum is going to have to, like, even the contract address is in the bar here. You can see this is a Ethereum contract address. So being a layer 2 coin to Ethereum, we need to see Ethereum really start to take off before we can hope to see something like Neural AI experience the price action that we really want. But it's imminent. It's sitting up underneath this large pivot zone. This pivot zone here is significant. So if we can get into it, that's great. But we would need to see it jump out of it going up before we can say, yeah, now Neural AI is on the bullish trend. Beam, this one here has been consolidating. It is a gaming coin, so I don't expect to see a trend yet. But this consolidation is showing favor towards the top side, and that is encouraging. When we see that the support here has been sufficiently maintained, even with this price action that's been volatile. Whoa, I zoomed in fast. This price action has been a little bit volatile here over the last 2 weeks or so, but staying above the middle line of this entire range is an encouraging price action. FAR. It's not even dribbling like a basketball. It's like a slinky just rolling down stairs. As you can see, brand new lows. These are the lowest prices that FAR has ever been. That'd be depressing. Let's go look at this. June, middle of June. Let's go 15th because that's when I made the first trade. And there was some volatility in there. I am down 97% on my Farcana. Isn't that ridiculous? I should have just waited, right? No. This is called dollar cost averaging. And I did make more purchases in the October range as well. So those ones are also down 88%. Am I discouraged? No, because now for pennies on the dollar, I can double the size of my position. So this is nice and low. I'm definitely going to be buying some. This is incredible. The growth rate that I expected when I bought was 2,300% from where this is where I bought around a 3.5 to 4 cents. Look at going up to target 2 is a 1,600% growth. When I bought in October, let's go to October right in here. Yeah, October 13th. It's 50x, 5,000% growth just going to target number 1. Coming back to the all-time high is 2,300%. Today, look at the price today, under 9. What is this? This is 9/10,000th of a cent. Coming back to where I bought in October is a 13x. So when I go ahead and pennies on the dollar, double my position, I will make back 13 times what I put in. Oh, wow. Dollar cost averaging. Beautiful. What a beautiful invention. I just love the fact that that's this thing. I would love to go back in history and show you how awesome dollar cost averaging works. And I can show you on Japanese rice markets from the 1800s how dollar cost averaging works. That's how beautiful that strategy is. Superverse, moving on. This one here is an interesting chart to me. I'm going to show you why. You see this low here? If we draw a line going back in time from this point, you can see that that line goes back a long ways, all the way back to its founding. Well, after it's founded, it dipped down and found some support there. And then the price went down below and played down here for a while. And then it shot up and found that line as support. And ever since then, it has refused to go below that. That is a very interesting thing. Well, whereas a lot of the other gaming coins, look at Beam, is way down here. It's not even close to its average price range. PAL, a gaming coin that is utilizing AI, price range still really low. 0 by 0, very low prices right now, not even close to the average price range. And then all of a sudden we got Super refusing to go below this, staying above the average. We're basically at the average price right now. Yeah, we're at the average price right now. But refusing to go below this so many times, very encouraging. What's also interesting about this price pattern is that you can see this high here and the previous high. I'm going to draw a line, and it's going to rest on top of that and go across. Look at how that lines up. Lines up with that same support line that we're at right now. This trend line here, when we break out of that, this here is going to go hyperbolic. Wild. I do anticipate on this particular asset, my targets are set for $15 and again for $25. Where we are right now, going up to that $15 mark at 74 cents. $15 mark is almost a 20x increase. So great place right now to buy, especially with so many confirmations that we are above this line here. This support line, providing as much support as it is likely to maintain that support for continued movement up. With the expanding wedge now, because we've got this line here providing the support, but we can see that a rising wedge pattern is occurring. And well, let's just see how things play out. Again, this coin is also a layer 2 coin to Ethereum. So we would need to see Ethereum really start to show promise before we expect massive movements within these layer 2 coins. C-Pool, real world assets. This one here is specifically for people that wish to contribute processing power to decentralized services like AI or other infrastructure projects. You want to talk about servers, desync, for example. People will be able to contribute their computers onto the network to help decentralize the computing of, or the processing rather, of data. That's what Clearpool is giving access, is providing access for. People would be able to use their computers as a real world asset and have it generate income passively, sitting there on their side table. It wouldn't even have to be a desktop that they sit at and work at. It's simply a computer connected to the internet, providing decentralized cloud computing services. Just incredible innovations. It's amazing. Non-playable coin, good old meme coin from way back in the day, currently at price points that reflect, yep, there it is. There's mid-June, basically right where we were mid-June. So right now I'm down less than 5%, with the highs getting higher, lows getting higher as well. We can anticipate this being another low with bullish movement coming forward. As you can see, technical analysis. When it comes to memes, I use this a little bit more loosely, but we can see that the algorithm has flipped and is now showing green. Maureen, you had your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just, that last one, would you say the name of the last one again? I didn't write it down, and that concept I'm interested in, and maybe explore it a little bit more. I don't know right now, but what was the name of it again?
Yeah.
C-Pool?
It's, the short term for it is C-Pool. The full name is Clearpool.
Clearpool. Okay.
Yep.
And it's where people can make passive income. Well, maybe we can talk about it later.
Yeah, definitely. We can expand it.
I wanted to write that down. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
To discuss.
No problem at all. Yeah, it's a fascinating world we're headed into. Okay, so yeah, this is NPC meme coin. It's showing some promise here over the last few weeks. Again, we got to see Ethereum take off before we can say that this is also in a bullish pattern, but it's encouraging to see things get set up. And it's also kind of interesting to see, like if we take a look at the Ethereum chart, this low that happened here on April 10th, rather, we're up quite a ways from that point. We're up 47% from the low at the beginning of April. When we take a look at NPC, that low happened a month before, and it started to grow for that first month before Ethereum even dared. That speaks volumes. Speaks volumes in the power of these meme coins. SPX. This one's here has actually been consolidating for a while, not experiencing the same bullish price action that NPC is. But as we can see right now, definitely been butting up against a resistance line here for a while. Can likely expect, yeah, we'll see what happens. These lows are getting higher. So this resistance is really giving the bulls a good test. So we'll see where it comes up next. I would want to see a good push going up. I would like to see the algorithm start painting a green cloud instead of an orange cloud, and then I would definitely be looking at making some more big buys. there we have it, folks. That's market analysis for today, May 8th. Stay tuned for more. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream, and we'll head into our private mastermind. For those who are watching online, if you are curious about joining our little ragtag community of traders that are looking for opportunities within this renaissance, please feel free to reach me. You can connect with me here, manknownaspaull.com/connect. Connect with our Telegram. You can book an appointment with me. You can also message me on X. And then, of course, on that page is the link to join us here in market analysis every day, except for Wednesdays at 11 Mountain Time. Thank you so much. Have a good day.